All right, hello, this is Jeff Scott of Blackhawk Technical College with the first of many lectures we're going to have for the 152, 153 Mobile Web Development iOS class for the spring 2016 semester at Blackhawk Technical College. This is our book, iOS 9 App Development Essentials. The author is Neil Smythe. It's a fairly new book. It's got a 2015 date on it. And it has over 100 chapters in it, so of course I'm not going to go over all of the chapters with you. Now, what I am going to do is just mention to you that I'm going to quickly go over chapters 1, 2, and 3 right now. I'm taping this, and I'm taping this on an Intel Windows machine. So I'm going to go over the chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 stuff. Then when we get into chapter 4, and we have the guided tour of Xcode, the plan then is to go back to the Mac. So chapter 4 is a guided tour to Xcode. Chapter 5, an intro to Xcode 7 playgrounds. 6, Swift data types, constants and variables. 7, Swift operators and expressions. 8, Swift flow control. 9, Swift switch statement. 10, overview of Swift functions, methods, and closures. That's about where I am in reading the book, to be honest with you right now. Today is Sunday, the 27th of December. So, then we'll go into the basics of object-oriented programming in Swift, an intro to Swift subclassing and extensions, working with array and dictionary collections, understanding error handling, the iOS application and development architecture, and creating an interactive iOS app. Finally, understanding iOS 9 views, windows, and the view hierarchy. Once we get to that point, that's the first 17 chapters, which is approximately the first 100 pages in this book. That's what I hope to have done by the time you guys come back on January 25th. And then we'll spend the first week going over those 17 chapters. Yeah, 17 chapters in a week. You're that good. Then we're going to jump right into auto layout, which is an extremely important topic. And notice an intro to Autonet layout, working with Autonet constraints and interface builder, an auto layout example, implementing auto layout constraints in code, implementing cross hierarchy, more auto layout, understanding classes, which really is more auto layout. All right, using storyboards, and we've had some of this stuff already. Organizing scenes over multiple storyboards, using Xcode 7 storyboards to create a tabbed application, an overview of table views, building dynamic table views, table view navigation, stack view tutorial. So you can see as I'm perusing my way through here, there's a boatload of stuff to cover. All right, and so 42 chapters are only 240 pages in, which means we're averaging less than 6 pages per chapter here. So in an ideal world, we'll have time to cover every single thing that's in here. But if you notice, there are 105 chapters. All right, that's a lot of material to cover. And with 617 pages, again, less than 6 pages per chapter. And even though some of these chapters are not extremely long, they've got a lot of information in them. So, chapter 1, well, you should have guessed this already. The goal of this book is to teach the skills necessary to create iOS apps using the iOS 9 software development kit, Xcode 7, and the Swift 2 programming language. All right, and what they're saying is, if you're a new developer, and we pretty much are, we've had some experience last semester, but you pretty much are a new developer, so they say you probably want to cover everything. Then they talk about the stuff they've changed since iOS 8. I'm not going to go through that. All right, I have gotten the source code and the Xcode project or files for the book. They're out there on the system. They should also be out there underneath Blackboard. All right. Smythe has created a similar book on Apple Watch stuff. That's all I'm going to say about it because I don't know anything at all about it. All right. They have a feedback site if you like things about the book or if you don't like things about the book. They have an errata site in here, errata. So if there's any errors or anything in there, that you can go there to look for them. And that's it for chapter 1. All right. Not much. Chapter 2, joining the Apple Developer Program. The bottom line is this. Do you want to join the Apple Developer Program? Well, it costs $99 a year. Probably where you are in your career right now, you probably don't want to. There's probably better ways to spend $100. All right. One of the advantages that you get of joining the Apple Developer Program is whenever there are updates made to iOS, or whether there's updates made to Xcode, etc., you hear about them earlier than other people. So as it says, it provides early access to pre-release beta versions of both Xcode and iOS 7. All right, probably the time to enroll in the Apple Developer Program is after you've got some experience. All right, that'd be my suggestion. But as it says, if you decide you want to join, you can go out to https://developer.apple/program/enroll. Okay. And I'm not going to say anything else about that. I'm just going to jump into chapter 3. Another chapter that is not really all that long. The good news is all of us at Blackhawk, we know we've got 14 or 15 Airbooks, and they all have iOS 9 and they all have Xcode 2 on them, to my knowledge. I'm sure if I'm wrong, Mr. Wanda will let me know that. As you found out last semester, Xcode 7 is our IDE, or our integrated development environment that we're using. Okay? You've seen all this stuff already, that once you start Xcode, it comes up like this. We're going to take it back almost from the beginning again. We're going to talk about playgrounds, all right, and then we'll talk about creating projects and stuff and everything that's involved with that. Now, they talk about adding your Apple ID to Xcode preferences. It's not really that big of a thing, so I'm just going to hold off on that. And that pretty much gets us up to the point where I wanted to stop right here, because I'm going to have to, when I continue to create these lectures, I'm going to have to do those with a Mac as opposed to an Intel machine. So I'm going to stop right now. That is the end of the lectures for chapters 1 through 3